Do you have scoliosis and do you feel tight here, here, or here when you're sitting at your desk? Well, in this video, I'll take you through 7 stretches for your lower body that may reduce tightness in your lower back, your hips, and your legs to help you be more comfortable as you work at your desk throughout the day. Hi, I'm Andrea, a Schroth certified physiotherapist and the founder of the ScoliClinic in Vancouver, Canada. I'm excited to walk you through these stretches. Make sure you subscribe and turn on your notifications to get part 2 of this video, which will focus on the neck, the shoulders, and the upper back. If you like our content, consider joining our membership to get perks like special access to scoliosis-friendly workout challenges and monthly content made by me just for our members. So if you're ready, let's get going with these desk stretches for scoliosis, focusing on your lower body. So the first exercise that I really love, that I think is underrated, is ankle pumps. So because a lot of us are sitting at our desk all day, a lot of that fluid gets stagnant into our legs. And so let's get it moving. And so you can just sit here at your desk and just extend your leg so that your weight is on your heel, and you can just point and flex your ankle. And that really helps to activate the calf to get some of that fluid moving back up towards the heart. Usually I would say to do this for about like 10 seconds or 15 seconds. You can do circles too, whatever feels good for you. And you can switch sides to the other side. Another option is just to keep your feet still and rise up onto your toes and then back down onto your heels, because this also helps to activate your calves and pump that fluid and get your lower, your feet and your ankles moving. The next exercise that I want to show you is knee bend and extend. Super easy. Again, you don't even have to move away from your desk. You can just think about hovering one leg and extending, squeezing your quadriceps muscle, and then bringing your heel back towards your bum to activate your hamstrings. Doing this same thing for even just 5 or 10 times, you'll notice an activation in your lower body that'll feel quite good. Make sure that you do both sides. Okay, so for the next exercise, you need to give yourself a little bit of space. So even just pushing away from your desk, come to the front of your seat. If you're in a rolly chair, this might be a little bit more difficult, but just see what makes sense. Doing some marching to really activate, get those hip flexors moving. A lot of us do have tight hip flexors, which I'll get into in a bit, but sometimes it still just helps to do that muscle pumping to help get the fluid out of your legs up into your upper body. And it also just helps to feel like you're activating your hips. So just doing some marching. A few things to remember is making sure that you're not leaning back and marching like this. You're always, especially if you have scoliosis, always trying to maintain a neutral spine while you're doing these movements. The next desk exercise is one of my favorites, and that's the figure 4. So usually we do this lying down on the ground where we're trying to stretch our hips, but there's a really nice option that you can do sitting at your desk, crossing one ankle over the opposite knee, and then just ever so gently bending forward to bring your belly button towards your legs. I really feel a deep stretch in this hip, and these are definitely the muscles that tend to get tight, especially if you're sitting at your desk all day long. And so you have a few options here. You can place your hand on your knee to give you a little bit more rotation. You can also just lean on your desk if that feels a bit better for you too. The most important thing is that you're keeping a little bit of a scoop in your lower back, so not doing it like this. We're always trying to keep an elongated spine. And then making sure that you're switching sides to bring your other ankle over your knee. And then again, you can rest on your desk. And then I think this will give you a lot of relief, especially if you feel like you have tight hips. Often, if you have low back pain, it can also be related to the tightness of your hips. So if you're starting to feel a little bit of soreness and tenseness, try this exercise because it might help to alleviate some of that tension. Okay, the next exercise, it kind of depends if you are working in an open floor plan of an office or if you're working at home, but this one's just a simple sit to stand. And so backing up from your desk a little bit, you're pushing up into a stand and trying to make sure that you're opening those hips forward and then lowering back down into a sit. It's essentially a squat, but it's something that can be done to activate your glutes and to wake them up after sitting for so long. So depending on how you feel, you can even use your hands on the desk to support you, or you can do it free and just really push through your feet. Doing this a few times just to, again, pump a lot of that blood through your body and to change the position of your hips, especially if you're sitting in a desk for like 7 or 8 hours a day. Next is a hamstring stretch. So you probably need to give yourself even more space away from your desk. But there's a really nice way to do this in sitting is you just extend one leg out so that you're placing some weight on your heel. Stay at the edge of your seat. And from here, lower down so that your belly button is coming closer to your thigh. And already I feel a stretch in the back of my hamstring. You don't really have to go far. This is a really nice option to keep your hamstrings nice and mobile, making sure that you're switching sides. And I'm always thinking about keeping a gentle scoop in my lower back and a gentle round in my upper back. So definitely don't want to be too arched and don't want to be too rounded. Okay, so trying to stay neutral as you stretch your hamstrings. The next stretch is a hip flexor stretch. And so this one kind of depends on the type of chair that you have, the shape of the seat, and also if it's on rollers or not. But I really love this because again, you get to open up those hips and you don't have to really move far. So if you're able to do it, I suggest shimmying over to one side of your chair and bringing one leg back. I'm still really sitting on the chair and a lot of my weight is on my front leg. This back leg is just here to help me balance. You can also, if you want to bring your desk closer, you can use that for balance, but sometimes even just opening your hip backwards and then thinking about reaching that heel back, I'm really opening through the front of my hip, and I can just do that a few times. Reach the heel and then relax, reaching the heel. And every time I do that, I can feel it all through the front of that hip. So this is a really nice option to do a hip flexor stretch while you're at your desk. Of course, switching to the other side so that you're also able to stretch both sides. But again, if your chair is rolling, you might have to switch to a more stable chair and see what kind of space you have available around you.
Watch part 2 of this video where we'll walk through some desk stretches for your neck, shoulders, and upper back. For more scoliosis-friendly workouts designed by a physiotherapist, tips for living with scoliosis, and information on treatment, subscribe to our channel where you can find support to stand tall from the inside out.